So, to both of you, like two wonderful Indian men, two amazing yogis, two amazing human beings, what are the qualities of a spiritual warrior? These teachings have been with me for many years, and I heard them. The first time when I heard them, I was in a very convoluted state inside of me, and I heard him from a teacher from Chile. His name is Juan, and he's always in my prayers, and he's an amazing, incredible master. And we were doing these meditation intensives, and they were like long hours of meditating and crying and releasing and understanding a lot of our personal baggage. And I always remember his voice, and I always remember him telling us to write them down, and write them down somewhere that you can see them every day. So a good strategy for me is just I have them in front of my desk. I also have them in my mirror in the bathroom. And every day I see them, and every day I remember which one is going to guide me every day. Like for this project of doing the YouTube videos and all that, like the first one has been really helpful. Courage to move forward, courage to expose yourself, courage to speak out whatever you need to speak out, and that comes from our practice. And our practice builds up this quality of strength. And it's not a strength that is aggressive, but it's a strength that defends what is valuable to us. So what is important in your life, what is priority to you, because once you understand that, then you're gonna gear towards that. Like in my case, I'm fighting a really intense legal battle right now to recover the custody of my children in Costa Rica. And as a lawyer, I know it's a very tedious and slow process, and it has had a lot of emotional toll for me and my family, my parents and my other kids. And yet I know that the courage to keep moving forward and to fight for whatever is valuable for me is the aim of life. So the first spiritual quality of a warrior is courage. Courage, the word comes from cœur in French, from heart. So what's in your heart that motivates you? And maybe you have a significant other, maybe you have your family, maybe you have a passion, maybe you have a dream. Whatever is there, you can nourish it with courage. So as we start a new year, I know we're all setting intentions, and we're all getting like focus on what is most urgent and most important. I invite you to watch yesterday's video on 5 questions to understand what your priorities are and what you need to release before setting intentions. The second quality of a spiritual warrior is determination. So as yogis, as spiritual seekers, our spiritual practice is the most important thing for us and for others around us. Actually, we practice for our relationships. We practice so we can be better human beings when relating to others, so we don't have to throw our stuff on people. We don't have to react aggressively or without minding others' feelings. It's a matter of being very caring and very careful with ourselves and with others, and that's what yoga is really about. Because some people have amazing asana practices, and when they get out of the shala, they are really, intense and angry and entitled and snobbish human beings. And for me, that's not yoga. Yoga grounds us, yoga makes us more approachable, and that determination to move in the path with no expectations, practice without attachments, that's a sign of a spiritual warrior. Third quality of a spiritual warrior, inner strength. What is inner strength? So usually we find out what inner strength is once our inner strength has been tested. That's how life works. When we are very like comfy and everything is working for us and we have the perfect partner, we have the perfect life, or we are like, you know, we have money and whatever we need, we don't really feel that thirst or that hunger. And inner strength comes to us when the bomb hits, when the tsunami happens, when the earthquake opens, when we are completely lost. And usually it takes a crisis, and a very big crisis. I've had many crises in my life, but last year was the major, huge, absolute, like chaotic year of my life. And it has taught me so much about inner strength, about being here in the present moment, in the now, without worrying too much about what is happening or what people are thinking of me or what someone else is doing. It's just being connected to your inner power. And your inner power is a reflection of your inner connection with a higher power. So our yoga practices definitely are setting up the antenna so we can receive that inner strength more clearly, and our mind can be more stable and calm, so we can really listen to what is happening and how grace is moving us. Because we are in this huge universe, and sometimes we think it's all about us. It's not about us at all. We're little like tiny ants in these amazing humongous energies that create worlds, and we're just part of them. So once we are in tune to that inner strength and we really understand that we're part of a bigger picture, everything becomes easier. Fourth quality of our spiritual warriors, humility. And the humility that comes from knowing we don't need to know it all. It's not about that. It's not about being the master of yoga or the master of family or the master or whatever job we're doing. We are all in the process of becoming, and becoming more of who we are. So if a career path is taking you into who you are, pursue it. If it's taking you away from who you are, leave it. If a situation in your life is making you more open and listening more to what your inner heart is telling you, move forward. If not, stop and change. So the humility to listen to something else, not so much stuff that is inside our heads too much. Sometimes the dialogue is a monologue and we're not really arriving anywhere, and just stop. And I don't know, I have this little book, I really recommend it to you. It's the Bhagavad Gita. It's an amazing book, but the same, there's so many sacred books that you can listen and just open them and listen. Guidance from a teacher, guidance from friends, guidance from your husband or your wife, husband from your children. Whatever is there, be open to listen. And the last one is the ability to take action. Because sometimes this spiritual discourse goes and we read and we move and we go to teachers and we become workshop junkies. And we don't really do anything with our lives, or we're just like hanging on YouTube every day and listening to other people. Just take a moment and start your own thing. Whatever it is, don't try to imitate anyone. You are your own energy, unique and perfect and beautiful, and you don't need to be or look like anyone else. Yoga is the path of authenticity, like I was saying yesterday. So that ability to take action when the right moment comes, without doubt. Like all my students in Latin America and Europe that have been to Mysore with my teacher, you know that it comes that moment when you say, I'm going to India. I'm going to India. There's no more compromising. This is my priority. And then they have started working for it and applying and getting the money and setting the jobs and moving everything around in their family so they can finally come to this sacred place. Because if you're a yogi, you need to come to India. There's no way you're gonna find yoga in workshops in the West. Even though they're very good teachers, you need to come and ground yourself to this amazing, incredible country that is gonna show you in a week. It's gonna show you everything you need to know. So these qualities are so important to keep going in the path. And I really think if we try at least to put them in action every day, one maybe per day or maybe one per week, we're gonna start learning a lot about ourselves and stop blaming those around us, because anyone around us is only a mirror of who we are inside. Thank you so much. Oh, and one last thing, I wanted to introduce you to my Nataraj. My Nataraj is my beautiful companion. Nataraj is the cosmic dancer, and it's the symbol here in India of how energy comes and goes and moves and contracts and pulsates and expands. So if you're going through any contraction in your life right now, know the expansion is coming, and it's gonna come huge and beautiful if you're geared to your yoga. Namaste.